Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Comics You Crave. I'm Brian West, and that's Ryan Tomlinson. And today we have a fun Marvel Star Wars comic for you guys. The collected edition of Chewbacca.
I can't do it. My throat's
This is
hurt.
5 episodes. This is 5 issues, all collected, the Chewbacca series. It's written by Gerry, Duggan, and drawn by Phil Noto. Hopefully I'm not butchering you guys' names here. And like I said, this is a Marvel comic book because
We'll find out.
Marvel owns Star Wars. So this is one of the many limited series that Marvel's been doing, and we're going to talk about it. So
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, obviously it's a Marvel comic, so it's going to have beautiful artwork.
Which it does.
And yeah, you can't say anything bad about artwork when it comes to these kind of things. I mean, it's freaking amazingly done.
Come on, you can't go wrong with a Wookiee shooting a bowcaster. I mean, that's one thing I will say that I feel like these artists and writers from Marvel have a... If someone came to you and said, listen, I want you to draw Star Wars, I feel like you're like, yes, my job is easy.
Yeah, you didn't have to say anything else. Just draw for Star Wars. Okay.
I want you to write a story about Chewbacca and draw for Star Wars. Well, would you like me to tell everybody what the comic's briefly about?
It's about Chewbacca. He crash lands on a planet, and
Well, I said, do you want me to tell? But go ahead. You're mesmerizing me with your riveting story.
Sorry, maybe I misheard you. But no,
You want me to do it?
He crash lands.
All right. What Ryan is so
one can
elegantly trying to say, before I put him on the spot here, is basically this comic is about Chewbacca crash. It's his own story. He gets his very own adventure in this. He crash lands on a planet, finds himself stranded there, and as characters in the Star Wars universe usually do, they find trouble to get themselves into. It's not as simple as I need a hyperdrive and I've got to fix it. Nope, it's I need a hyperdrive, and the only way I can get it is if I help a girl whose father's been basically tricked into slavery in these mines because this greedy guy wants to sell the mines to the Empire because they got this worm thing that turns into this bug that turns into a material that the Empire needs for weapons. So I'm just going to trick everybody into slaving them to work in my mines. And a girl escapes, and she needs help breaking out her father, and who does she run into but the most famous Wookiee in the entire galaxy? Which, funny enough, in this comic book, one of the things I loved about this comic is that nobody knows who Chewbacca is. I mean, the guy, it's kind of like the Star Wars universe in general. It's like, he's kind of the unsung hero that everyone's like, Luke, Han, Vader. Everyone's like, there's a walking carpet walking around. Who's that guy?
Yeah, who kind of makes weird noises, and only Han Solo can really understand him.
Yeah. Which, also, funny you mentioned that, actually, in this comic pays off really well. Nobody understands him. In fact, in this comic book, not a single person calls him Chewbacca because all he does is speak Wookiee, and no one speaks Wookiee. In fact, you know what? When I first saw this, I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out because of the fact, how do you make a comic book with a character that no one understands, right? I mean, how do you tell a story? And they actually do a really good job between the writer and the artist of doing so they have these scenes where they do these little cut scenes where it shows him facing different struggles in his life. And so he's gathering strength, and it shows his story in a way that's a very visual story, not so much a verbal one. And everyone is able to tell what he does through his gestures and waving his arms and all the things that he does. Where at the by the end of the story, yeah, exactly, you could tell that everyone kind of understood him, and it was actually really well done. That really shocked me how well it was done, how well the artist and the writer incorporated this into the story in a way that made a lot of sense. And by the end, it was I don't know, it was a fun little story.
Yes, entertaining. Chewbacca. How can you not have fun?
Well, yeah, and it was funny. I mean, Chewbacca. It was everything that Chewbacca was. It is in the movies. It was funny. It's great watching this big walking carpet who's not so he always kind of moves slow, but he does all these things that really make you laugh, and somehow he manages to save the day regardless of how kind of goofy he is. Yeah,
I do like though that if you think of all the Star Wars movies that he's in, everybody can basically understand him, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
He's in a place where nobody's got it.
Well, I will say one thing I did like about this as far as expanding the universe, because the story itself, I mean, it doesn't really expand the universe, right, very much. It's a very closed story. There's no universe ramifications for this. It's a very small story. But one thing it does do to expand the universe is, to your point, what you were saying is, like, in the movies, everyone just kind of understands them. And in this book, everyone just kind of understands them. And it does a really good job of explaining how, or showing how that kind of just works. Like, after a while, you just understand it. So, maybe next time we watch a Star Wars movie and someone looks at Chewbacca and says, oh, okay, instead of wondering, like, how does that character speak Wookiee? Maybe just, they don't, but Chewbacca's very expressive. But
yeah.
My favorite thing about this, I will say about this story, is that Wookiees have always been known to be these fierce warriors, but whenever you see them on screen, like I said earlier, they're kind of goofy and they don't really do much. This story shows how one Wookiee can pretty much bring down an entire gangster empire and part of the empire, right? You see how awesome of a character he really is in the Star Wars universe, and how valuable he is to the whole to the team.
And it's good to have that kind of thing where, cause like you said, in the movies, I mean, unless he's setting up the grenades to explode everywhere,
yeah,
or he shoots his bowcaster, then that's pretty much like all he's got.
Yeah. Well,
he drives the Millennium Falcon.
If you want to see, like I said, I think me and Ryan both enjoyed this comic very much. If you want to see read a story where Chewbacca is finally the hero, I think this is the comic for you. It's a fun little 5-issue comic that you can get right now on Amazon. It's not real expensive. It's a fun read. You'll blow through it really quick. I have to recommend it. I mean, if you have never read a Star Wars comic book, I don't know if this is the entry point for you, just because it's not the grand epic adventures that the movies is. It's just kind of a fun side story. But if you love Star Wars, I definitely say buy this comic book. Pick it up.
I agree. Pick it up.
All right.
If you like big hairy dudes that wave their arms around,
and like Ryan said, man, the artwork is really good. Where's the?
Yeah.
I mean, look at that final page. Well, I won't show you the final page. We'll save that one. You don't know. Maybe spoiler. Maybe Chewbacca dies.
Yeah, you don't want
to
spoil it.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at it. Look at those big rippling Wookiee muscles.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway.
So nice.
All right. Well, anything else you want to add?
I just want to say, if you like Star Wars, you'll enjoy it. If you're not greatly in depth into Chewbacca, I would probably say you'll be all right missing it, but you'll be missing out.
Yeah.
So
it's a fun story. It doesn't play anything into the larger Star Wars universe for the most part, but like Ryan said, it's a fun story. You'll be missing out if you don't pick it up. So check it out, Chewbacca. It's in trade paperback. Yeah. It's all 5 collected editions. You can get it for, I think I got my copy for like $10 on Amazon. You can get this at your local comic book store. Available now. Check it out. Chewbacca from Marvel Comics.
Geek Dad Report says buy.
Buy it. Definitely. All right. Until next time, guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Comics You Crave.
Keep reading. Lots and lots of comics.
Yes, all the comics.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, that too.